super awesome. Again, I'm here live on Facebook and YouTube right now. This is a really good opportunity that I wanted to give to you guys in terms of just like getting your career advice, getting your resume advice. A lot of you have seen my post, and you know that I've been recently laid off. And so this is giving me an opportunity to really sink into my business, right? What does Passionate Portfolio offer to you? And how can I help you guys now, right? So just because my 9 to 5 isn't there right now doesn't mean that the work stops. So really, really happy that you guys are here. Hi, Angelica. I'm so glad that you could join me today. I know that you, of course, are doing very well in your career. And congratulations on that. I love watching you flourish. But yeah, so the fact of it is that even if nobody shows up to these, I'm going to be here, I'm going to be working, but it's giving you guys immediate access to me and to be able to ask the questions that you want to. And again, free consultation, free resume advice. I mean, come on. It's usually costs quite a bit of money for that. So I'm going to be here. If you have questions, if you guys have any concerns about, anything that's going on, thank you. I'm here. I'm here to help. So again, absolutely love seeing you guys on here, and I love seeing the encouragement. My gosh, this has been amazing. You guys have been so lovely, absolutely lovely. So yes. So I plan on doing this actually every Thursday at 3 o'clock. So this, I always tell people, I always use this statement, but I say, this isn't an expiring offer. And I mean that, right? So you guys are going to have an opportunity every single week to come on here, ask a question, pick my brain for whatever it is that you guys would like. So all good stuff here. Again, I've got to work out this camera stuff a little bit better because, as you see, I've got to look back and forth between the two cameras. Now, I don't want to mess this up too much because I am going to be candid with you guys. Hi, Bill. I knew you'd be watching. But it was a little bit kind of dicey getting everything set up. I kind of did it last minute. So, but anyways, yes. So here we are, all good stuff. I'll be here. I'm here to help you guys in whatever you need. So another idea that I actually had too, aside from these office hours, one of the things, that's a really good question, Angelica. One of the things I was thinking about too is having you guys send me your resume. Right? So send it to passionateportfolio@gmail.com and I can take a look at it. So your optimum length, your rule of thumb for length, it should be definitely no longer than 2 pages. Now for you in your particular case, Angelica, you have a lot of professional experience. If you're looking to make a career shift, one of the things that I recommend is making sure that whatever the job posting is that you are applying to, that your experience is going to be within that resume. Now that seems very generic, but a lot of times we get caught up on the day-to-day or like the tasks, and really we need to be speaking in value. Okay? What I mean by that is you have your experience and you've got a recruiter and or hiring leader, and they are going to want to know, what are you bringing to the business? Okay? They don't, this is going to sound kind of harsh, but they don't care about your experience. They care about what you can bring to the company, right? So a lot of people think that it'll be like generic. I need a fancy title. I need my education right at the top. And that's just not necessarily the case, right? It's speaking to exactly what the hiring leader wants. Now, put yourself in a recruiter and or hiring leader's shoes. They are incredibly busy. Their main priority is not hiring. The recruiters is, sure, but not the leaders and or managers, right? So you want it to be packed, a page or two, packed full of valuable, applicable content. And every paragraph that you have, so how I actually recommend when we're talking about, overarching length, I say 1 to 2 pages. But if we're talking about the actual experience, keep it 4 to 6 visual lines. And that's ultimately like 3, 4 sentences. But those sentences, it needs to be task, and then what task did to bring value to the business, right? So it's not just I write resumes. I write resumes to help people successfully find their career, helping them advance, right? So it's almost kind of like a little tad into marketing. You're marketing yourself. So you want it to be quick, you want it to be punchy, because the fact of it is that your resume should just be a quick representation of why you should have a conversation with me. The real winner is going to be when you get on that phone call with them and you present to them your personality and the other skills that you bring to the table that your resume is not going to cover, right? So don't try to put everything in there. You just want the real top ones. So I hope that answers your question as far as length. That's a very, very popular one. And it's funny because I kind of feel like, when we talk about value, length really isn't so much important as much as making sure that everything that you're putting in your resume has a value to it. Again, what are you bringing to the table? That's what they want to know. So, again, really great question. Love that. Absolutely love that. So yeah, as I mentioned before, if you guys ever want, and I'm actually in my email right now, where you guys can send me your emails or your resumes directly, and I can just quickly take a look over it and give you guys some live feedback. Right now. I just thought that'd be a really good way to just kind of like quick, punchy. Here's what I see. Here's what I can present to you in terms of value. So. But yeah, guys, keep them coming. Now, Bill, you might be my last one for right now. That's but again, I think that as time moves on, and I think that as people start getting used to the fact that I'm going to be live on multiple channels, right? People will start to funnel in. How's your day at work going, Bill? Are you having a good day today so far? And I know it's you because you don't even want to anybody sticking around. Got one more here. Hello, hello. It's not telling me who is watching, but welcome. For my new audience member, hello, I'm Rachel, if you don't already know. But I'm here live offering some free resume and career consultations here. So we're just looking to get some good questions, and you can guarantee that your question, oh, hello, Shelby, if that is you, it's so good to see you. Well, what we're doing here is we are taking people's generalized resume and career questions, so that way Again, get the word out there, help some people. And I absolutely love being able to help you guys out. So feel free, shoot your resume questions or concerns or your career questions or concerns to me. Because again, I'm here to help you guys. If I've got the, if I have the time, I'm going to be helping you guys. You know, that's what it's all about. Okay, so I had a really good question over here on YouTube, actually. So one of the questions that I had was, about career titles and how important they are. And it's interesting because I had a situation the other day where I had a recruiter reach out to me, and he was interested in me doing a marketing position. And when I had asked the recruiter, I said, well, what is the title for this role? And he goes, oh, well, it's for marketing such and such, but don't worry about that. Don't worry about the title. Now, I would imagine that for most people that would be very off-putting, but believe it or not, your titles are fluid, meaning that you can shift your titles, you can change your titles, right? One of the things that I recommend doing, especially if you're looking to change careers, because I was very centralized and focused in customer service for a very long time, customer service and sales. And I needed to make that jump, make that leap to content writing, because that was what my education was in. And so ultimately, it was just little shifts and little lateral moves in terms of my expertise and what it was that I was doing in a job. If you appropriately label your experience, and let's say company A wants to call and do a background check on you, okay? Assuming that this isn't like a very large corporate position, someone is going to call, do a background check, and they are going to say, hey, was Rachel a technical support specialist / content writer? You can guarantee that if you did content writing, they are not going to decline and say, no, they weren't, right? So your titles are fluid. Now, there's a limit to that. So it's one thing if you are saying, for example, let's say you were like a level down, but your responsibilities of your role was the next level up. It was like the mid-level and not an entry level anymore. That's fine. That's an okay shift, right? But when we start talking about saying, well, I was a vice president of such and such, right? Your skill set, unless you have the experience to back that up, you're going to be in a big load of trouble when you either A, get into the interview, or worse, when you actually get the job and you have absolutely no clue what you're doing. So use this very responsibly. So that is my recommendation. So again, titles are fluid. Switch it up, Don't be afraid to explore that a little bit. Now, the follow-up to that is there's a website called ONET. It's actually something that the Michigan Unemployment Office used to help identify like what my career is, which is interesting because they don't have a content strategist. They don't have a marketing strategist. What they have is a technical writer. And so again, that just goes to show you that titles are fluid. But ONET, that is going to give you a fantastic breakdown of all of the skills, all of the responsibilities, the education level, and even what salary should be for that role, right? So you'll get the low, the mid, and the high for that salary, and it's also locationally based as well. So all good stuff there. Definitely check it out. It's O and then NET. I think it's like onet.org. So definitely check that out. Good question from YouTube. Love that. Hello, Ashley. Thank you so much for watching. You're awesome. I gotta get your cookies to you, girl. I hope that the babies are doing good by you. I know that my parents are going to be excited to see them because they love seeing the kids running around out there. Hello, Jason. Again, it's so nice to see people popping in here and saying hello. So again, for those of you guys who are just joining, we are covering resume questions. This is a free resume consultation opportunity, but this is also an opportunity for you to ask about career stuff, right? So for the last 2 years, I've had an opportunity to work with nothing but recruiters and hiring leaders. But I didn't do so in the space of actually hiring. I did so in the space of writing. So the resume world and what that offers, right? That just leaned right into that career. So now I have a different perspective across the board, right? Before it was, I am doing this as a resume writer and I never had that other side, that other perspective. And now I have that. And so this is a great opportunity for me to start sharing with you the great mystery, the great unknown. What are leaders looking for? What are recruiters looking for? What are hiring leaders looking for? And actually, this is pretty funny. I've got a video that I want to do. And one of the things that I'm going to be doing, and Jason, I will. Yes, thank you so much. Yes, I know my mom absolutely adores you. She will love to hear that. But I've realized in this past, 2 weeks, have had an epiphany, if you will. There is a large gap between what recruiters are understanding about you guys and what it is that you guys are looking for. There's a gap here. You guys don't understand what it is that they're looking for, and they don't understand what you guys are looking for. And so now I'm here to dispel all the myths, to dispel all of the rumors, right? And it is funny to me that our hiring leaders, or even us as our own responsibility, wouldn't lean into finding those things out. And that's really how this career started for me, was I wanted to know the answers. What gets me hired? What doesn't get me hired? What are you guys looking for? And there aren't necessarily like a tried and true 100% answer here. It just that doesn't exist. I would love for it to, right? It would be great if I had a one size fits all, guys. Doesn't work like that, right? Different industries, different niches, different types of leaders, different types of recruiters, right? All of these things are going to lean into that. So, like I said, here to dispel all of the myths and the rumors, and I am here to shed some light on that, right? I have a little bit of a story, and hello, Blake. Oh, I miss you so much, and your kids are adorable. I just want to throw that out there. It's stinking cute. So I had an interesting situation that happened to me. Again, I've worked with recruiters for the last 2 years, and I guess the general overall feeling that I had about my recruiters is that they were phenomenal. I loved working with them. I knew that they were there to help people. That was their main core. And so I had always assumed that that's what recruiters were there for. And within the past, I would say couple of weeks, really the last week, I have come to find out that there's a negative connotation to the term recruiter. And this is odd to me, right? But I realized that when we're talking about recruiting, there's this kind of like sales connotation to it, right? Like somebody is trying to sell you on a role, which is odd to me because, right, if you're looking for a role, that means one of two things. You either don't have a job or you're unhappy with the job that you have, right? And so either way, there's going to be a level of like distrust there that's going to exist. So when you start layering, if you've got a recruiter and they've got the sales connotation to them, oh, you don't want to work with them, right? Do you trust them? And I really had never had that negative opinion before until the other day. until the other day, and it was very unusual. I actually had 3 recruiters reach out to me for one job. It was 3, okay? And they were all from different companies. But as soon as they had saw my experience, they saw what I brought to the table, based on the company that they're looking to hire, possibly hire me into, they all just started calling me. And we're talking about within like an hour time span. First one, phenomenal. Absolutely loved that recruiter. Second one, called up. I had explained that this sounded very familiar. And that recruiter was very pushy. And they wanted my information. They wanted it fast. And I actually witnessed firsthand and fell victim to a recruiter trying to poach me from another recruiter. And that absolutely blew my mind. That absolutely blew my mind. And I definitely plan on making a video about that, because I just don't necessarily think that that's how this business or industry should work. I'm not looking to make money off of doing a resume for somebody. I am looking to help them. I'm looking to make their lives better. I'm looking to help them achieve what they need to in their lives. And I've had the opportunity to do that with quite a few people. So again, really interesting situation. It was the first time in a very long time that I've been in the hiring world. And it was the first time that I had ever experienced something where a recruiter just tried to undercut another one. It was just very competitive. It left a very bad taste in my mouth. And so I'm going to dispel that, because I don't believe that recruiters are like that. Some are, but I would say that the majority are not. And I'm here to defend those good ones. And I know of a whole bunch of good ones. If you guys are looking for some good recruiters, looking for a job, I know some people. So that is my experience with that one. Now, I'm trying to look up a couple of things here. But again, you guys, if you are interested, please send your resume over to passionateportfolio@gmail.com. And I will be more than happy to take that, look at that, and just, again, give you a quick insight. I think one of the things that might be good to do here is if you send me your resume, I will review it, but I will take the opportunity to cover it in the next week, right? So I will review it, and then I'll be able to give you some quick feedback. Now, if you want to remain anonymous, I can do that too, right? I know not everybody is like me, where they're super comfortable on camera just putting all their business out there. I appreciate that. I recognize that. But again, I can help you guys however you guys see fit. So if you want to remain anonymous too, I'll be happy to do that as well. This has been great. I have seen so many fantastic people on here. Okay, so I do have a website here that I absolutely love to use. And since, again, I totally expected that this isn't going to be a very, busy office hour session, because you guys have to get used to the fact that I'm going to be on here. I also need to make sure, timing, too, right? So, is 3 p.m. on a Thursday, is that a good time for you guys? Maybe not. I figured, hey, if you're unemployed and looking for resume advice, you got time to do this, right? But maybe that's a gross assumption, right? So, I have this website here that offers some questions that are like, what are the most important questions? So I would love to cover some of those. Let me find a good one here. Ooh, this is a good one here. Oh, I like this one. Okay. So, what resume format is the best? That is a really good one. Okay, resume format. Simple, simple, simple. Now, please understand, I am absolutely an artistic soul. Okay, I've got an easel over here. I've got this closet over here filled with stuff right now. All art stuff, jewelry, Etsy, right? Love making things pretty. Absolutely love that. That's why I'm in video creation. However, when it comes to your resume, it's really just the value of the content that you're putting in there, right? So exactly where we started in the very beginning of this is speaking to your value. Now, if you were to do something other than a Word template, which is what I recommend that you stick with, there's a lot of them out there. They're free. It's actually what I use, which might surprise a lot of people because they're like, oh, I want something like super fancy and really colorful. But the minute that you start putting those graphics or visuals in your resume, what we call our applicant tracking systems, the system that absorbs your information and shoots it off to whoever saying, I want a job, is going to take that information. It's going to get all jumbled. The more fancy colors or the more, again, graphics that you use, the more you're going to have to double back and re-enter in information. So you really don't want to do that. You want to keep it as generic as possible. Now, the fix to that is that when an ATS system, if you are like, let's say you have an art resume, let's say you're a graphic designer, right? A lot of times those resumes are going to be pretty, right? They're going to have visual elements to it. That is your career, right? What you're going to do is you're going to take that and make sure that you're uploading that as a PDF. So I would actually have two versions. I would have one over here that would be your generic, basic one that you start off with and apply to the, website, the company's website or whatever. And then you've got your other one over here, which is going to be a PDF. And the reason I say very specifically PDF is so that way it doesn't get, transformed in a way in which it's ineligible. And so, again, just making sure that you are just making sure that it lines up graphically, right? I've had a lot of instances where I've had a resume that I uploaded. And that resume, as soon as I uploaded it into the system, I had to double back. And now I'm entering in information not just once, but sometimes twice. And then I recommend applying to 3 jobs a day. 3 to 5 is what I do a day. And so if you are, hi Corey, if you are, right, doing a resume and then you're applying to 3 to 5 different places, you really, really don't want to have to enter in that information multiple times. That is going to get very frustrating. You're going to get annoyed and you're not going to be able to complete that 3 to 5. So definitely formatting, keep it as simple as possible. So again, really good question here. Let's see here. Let me check my YouTube chat here as well. Alrighty, so can resumes be 2 pages long? Yeah, we covered this in the beginning of this live, but it's recommended that you keep it 1 to 2. Now, if you're an entry-level role, so that's really kind of what it all is determined on too. Where are you at in your career level? So if you're entry level, don't be afraid to have it just 1 page. If you are mid-level to senior level, 2 pages, no more. Anything more than that, it'll be information that's lost on them. So, alrighty. So let's go back here. go back to our very popular questions. Ooh, I like this one. This one's a good one. Our resume is written in past tense. It's a very good one. So the language changes, and it really depends on your current status in said role. Okay, so the first bit of experience that you're going to have, if that's a current role and you are still presently in that role, you will use present tense. Any roles thereafter would be past tense. If, again, that most recent role, you've been separated, you were laid off, whatever, you're no longer there, then it's past tense. So don't get too caught up on that, right? So how I think about it is really simply just in terms of me having a conversation with somebody. And that's how I can functionally write, is that I'm having a conversation with somebody. And so if I were to say my experience at Rocket, let's just take my own experience. I'm no longer there. So it would be that I led the strategy, right? So if I'm saying, hey, so-and-so, I am, hey, so-and-so, I am my, oh, there we go. Okay. Sorry, lost you guys for a minute. But if I were discussing this with somebody, if I were like, hey, let me tell you about my experience at Rocket. Here's what I did. Well, I worked with recruiters. I worked on the job postings. I worked in marketing strategy and branding, right? So if you just add I in front of it, it's as easy as that, right? I did this. I did that, right? Now, that's the easiest way I can put it to you guys. But, right, of course, we want to speak to that value too. It's not just enough to be talking at somebody and saying, here's what I did, here's what I did. That's not, bring that value, bring that marketing. So, love that question. That's a good English question. Which tense do I write in, right? Side note, at the top, it'll be present. And even in your first experience, when you're talking, or your most recent experience. So if I were to talk about, let's say I was still at Rocket, I would say, well, I currently strategize the job postings. And then in your achievement afterwards, underneath, is going to be past tense. You already did the thing, so it's going to be in the past. All right. One of the questions here is, why is resume writing important? Well, I could make a 5-hour-long video on that one, guys. I don't know why resumes had to be my passion in life. I can't think of a more nerdy thing. Nerdy thing to be like, I'm gonna help people with their resumes. Oh man, it just tells you, it goes to show, if you find your passion, find your true drive and ante in life, you'll do it in your spare time, anytime. All right. Ooh, this is a really good one. I think this will be the last one. I'm not gonna lie. Ooh, talking for an hour is one thing. Okay. Why did my resume get rejected? There is no finite answer for that one. And the fact that this is one of the most highly searched topics on Google, that goes to show you what I talked about earlier in terms of recruiters and our candidates having a disconnect there. And I am here to lift the veil of mystery, because the fact of it is there could be 100 different reasons why your resume was rejected. I mean, really. Um, you know, you got somebody that, again, is a hiring leader, and it is not their primary role to hire, right? That's why we have recruiters. That's why you have people like me, who do the marketing and the sourcing. But Marisa, hi. Oh my gosh, I love this. I am going to totally keep doing these office hours. I love this. Hi, Mark. So when we talk about a disconnect, right? I think it's important to know that a rejection on your resume, or a rejection, I'm sorry, of your application is not an indication of you. Okay? If anything, view that rejection as a sweet. They took a look at my stuff and they knew that I wasn't going to be a good fit. Excellent. The last thing you want is a company to hire you in just because they need to fill a role. And then you end up being there and you're miserable. And then a year, maybe less later, you're in the same position that you're in now. It's just not worth it. The best thing that you could do is be authentic and not let a single rejection letter get to you. It's just on to the next. So, quite frankly, let me give you some classic reasons on why I hear that resumes have been rejected. Because again, I've seen behind the veil. Oh, this person's resume was pretty. I'd like to pick this person's. It looks pretty. It didn't speak to the skills or anything. They just look at her like, this is pretty. Let's interview them. Hand of God. Okay? I don't think that we need this role anymore. We found somebody else internally that can fill this. That would result in you getting a rejection. Let's see. Oh, they found somebody who was maybe willing to do it less than you. Maybe your resume spoke to the marketing side, but really what this business is looking for is they're not looking for a marketing person. What they're really looking for is an engineering person. And I run into that all the time. Like, I'm a technical writer. Listen, if you were to try to stick me in a manufacturing plant and have me do technical documentation and CAD drawings, I can't. My expertise lies in the marketing side of content. And so if a role, just because technical writer across the board is technical writer, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to fit into that. And so, again, there's 100,000 reasons on why your resume was rejected, okay? But here's what I'm going to ultimately say. If you're speaking to your value, if you're speaking to what you bring to the table, okay, take confidence in that. Take confidence in that, and again, don't let the rejections get to you. It just means that you weren't necessarily a good fit. It's not you. I've been finding all kinds of parallels between relationships and jobs, right? Like, it's not you, it's them. But it's true. It's true. If you have a company that rejected you, it doesn't have anything to do with you. If anything, it has to do with them and their needs and what they need. Okay, so just take that confidence, please, and make sure that you're able to move forward in a way that's good. The number one tool that you can have in your tool belt during this time while you're looking for a career. It doesn't matter if you currently have a job or not. Okay, if you're out there pooling around for something, okay, that means to some level you're looking to shift, if you're looking to move. And the number one best thing that you can have in your tool belt during this time is confidence. Because I can promise you that other businesses and recruiters and leaders and all that, they can smell insecurity. And it doesn't jive with them, right? So don't let those rejections get to you. It is not an indicator of you and who you are as a person. It is just what their needs were. Just remember that. It was them, not you. It was them, not you. Man, such good questions. I love this. Love this. Okay, I know I said that this last one was going to be my last one, but I am going to do this. And I think that this question is going to be able to like really lean into one of the things that I have actually been doing myself. LinkedIn my resume, meaning should I have my resume on there? Should I have LinkedIn, right? The answer is yes. LinkedIn is a phenomenal tool that you can use. It allows you to connect with people that you don't necessarily know, but are in the same professional field as you. Not only that, it's an opportunity for you to connect with recruiters. It's an opportunity for you to connect with people from all different companies. You have access to the recruiters and the leaders of a company right there. It's phenomenal. It's fantastic. And actually, before I got hired at Rocket, one of the things that I did was I went through and I started adding the talent acquisition people. Check me out, right? So definitely make sure you have a LinkedIn. Make sure it's up to date. Again, it's a professional platform, so it's not going to be the same, right? So I mentioned at the beginning of this, I've got YouTube Live running. I've got Facebook Live running. Facebook, you guys know me personally, right? At least the majority of you, I would say. Now, since I switched to a digital creator profile, there are followers. There are you guys that don't know me personally. But I would say 8 to 9/10 of my audience are you guys that I have worked with, I've hung out with, we've shared some time and space together, right? You on YouTube are less familiar with me. And so how I interact with you guys is going to be different, right? YouTube, you're not going to understand necessarily all the people that I said hi to. All of you guys on Facebook, you will, right? LinkedIn, same way, right? And so on LinkedIn, it's completely appropriate to add people that you don't know. Just like all of my subscribers on YouTube for both Passionate Portfolio and Passionate Lifestyle, don't know them. I know some of you guys, but don't know those people. It's completely what I call organic audience. LinkedIn, organic audience. Go in there. Add those people that you don't know. But again, make sure your stuff is up to date. If it looks stagnant, if it's old or out of date, get that updated first and then start to add people. Whew. Wow. Really, really good stuff here. I cannot believe first open office hours. This was fun. I got to see some of you guys that I don't normally, I don't get to see, but you guys got to see me. And it was fun. It was fun. I really enjoyed this. And I hope that as this continues, that you guys are going to get a little bit more comfortable in terms of asking me the questions. I'm looking for a little bit of setup for the next one. But as I mentioned before, I'm looking just to do this once a week. Why not, right? I got nothing to lose here, and at the same time, this is just giving me the opportunity to just on-site, on-demand help you guys out. So thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are incredible. I will see you guys in my next short. I've got a long-form video that's going to be coming out tomorrow. That's going to be that full toy room experience on Passionate Lifestyle. For you on YouTube, Passionate Lifestyle. For you guys, it'll be on my Facebook. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate each and every single one of you. And I will see you guys soon. Bye.